I went to CNN today to pull up one of the articles that we're going to talk about, and check this out. Even the market is operating in fear. This is not a good sign, and apparently Trump didn't look it up. That fear is never good for a productive market. This morning I was listening to Heather Cox Richardson. If you're not familiar with her, she writes a letter from an American every day. She's not a reporter, she's not a politician, she's a historian who takes today's news and merges it with American and world history. She said this quote from Scott Bessent. He is our new Secretary of the Treasury. He's a billionaire. And honestly, I think that's his only credentials to get the job. Wouldn't be my first pick. But anyway, I want to share that quote with you today and talk to you why I'm extra, doubly worried about where our economy is headed, and to tell you a little bit about what we can do about it. So let's get to it. One of the things that I especially love about Heather Cox Richardson is she puts all of her proof sources there. You can look them up. You can further research it. When we are armed with information, we have power. The smarter we become, the easier it is to make good choices. Here's the headline from that CNBC article that Heather had in her letter. Treasury Secretary Bessent says economy could be starting to roll a little bit. Almost makes it sound positive. Like rolling where? Rolling up? Up would be nice. But then he further explains. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Friday acknowledged some signs of weakness in the U.S. economy. Before reading on, I want to make this perfectly clear. When Biden left office, he handed over one of the strongest economies in the world. In fact, I will put a resource for that in the doobly-doo. In fact, the headline from The Economist was, "The U.S. economy is the envy of the world." I know this didn't get through to Trump voters. It really shoulda. Because Trump kept saying, oh, the economy is so horrible and inflation is so crazy and Biden doesn't know how to control it. But steadily our inflation was going down and the economy was going up. Well, the measures that should go up, like unemployment and real growth. But for some reason, 70 million people didn't choose to look that up or figure it out. Or try to understand that even when inflation goes down, it doesn't mean that prices go down. Now, hopefully, they're waking up to this. Because this is the thing, Trump voters. We'd like you to get the facts and the real information and join us in helping to build a better America. That's part of the reason that I'm here. But let's get back to Scott. Could we be seeing that the economy that we inherited is starting to roll a bit? Sure. And look, there's going to be a natural adjustment as we move away from public spending to private spending. Did you know this is what we were doing? Did Trump say that when he was running? Hey, we want to take things that you normally count on the federal government for and make you privately pay for them. This will include things like your fire department, your water, clean air, and oh my gosh, weather and education, even for the littles. Was that on the platform? No. Now, there's some of us who knew, because it's all in Project 2025. And again, if you're not familiar with that, I will also put that in the doobly-doo. But when you're a billionaire like Scott, or Elon or the many, many that we have in our federal government, it becomes easy to think, well, people can just privately pay for that. But what if you don't have your subscription for tornado warnings? And do you really want to be the business that offers that on a private basis? Because I don't. People have come to expect that that's just part of what a government does to help keep us safe. I don't think that Trump voters knew this, but this is one of the things that I do know. Trump voters had somebody like me and maybe you in their life telling them the truth, telling them what Trump intended to do, or at least trying to tell them. Right? In my experience, these people chose to ignore me or push back against it. And some of them still do. They're still delusional about what's happening and what's going to be happening to us. I'm going to put out a video that's going to talk about ways that we can talk to Trump voters in an effort to try to wake them up. But back to our discussion. The market and the economy have just become hooked. They've become addicted to this government spending, and there's going to be a detox period. Do you know what kind of detox he's talking about? A depression. Yes. Yeah. I've been saying this to my classes for years. I've tried to educate many of them about not only the lies of Trump, but how a good and healthy economy works. The federal government has a $6 trillion budget. When you roll that back too much, you start to see a major constriction in the economy. And when it's that much money, it can cause a depression. Tack onto this the tariff nonsense and everything else. It's not good. And this is the thing. As much as I don't trust Trump, and I don't think he cares one bit if we suffer through another Great Depression. I think he'd actually enjoy it. What I do know, though, is his ego is so big and grand that he needs people to like him. And the only thing that might stop us from this cliff is if he knows enough of us don't want it. Or we get him out of office. But here's the thing. We need enough Republicans to wake up. So I'm going to talk to you in this video about ways that we can try to wake the Republicans up. Before we get to that, though, I want to share with you something else that happened recently. Oh gosh, I am so sorry to pop in like this. It won't take very long. But if you're liking this video, if you enjoy this content, please subscribe. I want to make sure I see you back here again. And if you'd like this video, it'll make sure it gets out to other people. And I'm interested in building a channel that gives you the content that you're interested in. So if there happens to be a topic or material in this that you'd like me to expand on, please put it in the comments below. I'll make sure I get to it. Plus, I'd like to chat with you. Now, back to the regular program. That CNN business article I was looking up. See where that arrow is again to the extreme fear? And then also look right next to that. Trump says tariffs on Mexico and Canada could go up. Or not. But I think Trudeau has it right. The Prime Minister of Canada. I've always kind of thought that this is one way that he can go after all of these countries, is if he makes them economically weak. We really have to do something to stop this. But again, back to CNN business. Here's the headline I wanted to talk to you about. Elon Musk says upgrade of FAA's air traffic control system is failing and SpaceX needs to take over Verizon's contract. This is what we can look forward to under privatization. Now, I don't know about you, but Musk just blew up a rocket that interrupted travel in Chicago and off the Florida coast. And by the way, the rocket came out of Texas. I do not want Elon Musk taking care of all of our air traffic. Now, what I'd really like is for things to work the way they're supposed to. I don't care if it's bureaucracy. I don't care. I want things thoughtfully considered by people who know what they're doing and don't have just the vested interest of making a few bucks off the transaction. To be fair about this Elon Musk article, as I was doing the research on this, because I heard it over a week ago now, Musk has talked this back and said that won't be happening. Musk has also told us a lot of things that weren't true, like condoms to the Gaza Strip. We, in my mind, need to do two things. One of them is start to change the mind of Trump voters. Now, hopefully, they're tuning into news sources that are getting them alarmed. We've seen the town halls where Republicans are getting smashed about what is happening with DOGE, our veterans, our national health, the list goes on. So, but we can help. Every time they utter something that's not true, we speak truth. Not in a mean way, but in a truthful way. Oh, that's not true. Zelensky was just protecting his country. He just wanted an assurance from Trump. I had somebody in my class last week just offhandedly say, well, the countries that have socialized medicine do not provide stage 4 cancer treatment. Do you know this for a fact? Do you have a proof source? Because I don't believe that that's true. Would you like me to look it up? We need to stop allowing lies to just filter around and make themselves true. Again, Joe Biden had an excellent economy, way better than apparently what Trump is doing. Which brings us to point number 2. We need to move Republicans. They know this isn't good. Well, most of them do. I don't have any hope for Marjorie Taylor Greene and some of those nutcases. But some of them have a clue. They know that this is not good. And we need to move them. Contact your officials, but even what's more important is to contact the Republicans. Here is an important resource for you. This is GovTrack US. And if you notice, up at the top of this webpage, it says legislators. And there you'll find links to look up any legislators representing anyone in the nation. Here at this website, you can also track legislation that's going on, how members are voting, etc. And this resource is how I contacted all 53 senators. I don't know how frequently you can do it. I know for me, right now, I'm still working. I'm starting this YouTube channel, and I wouldn't even be committing this much time to this YouTube channel if we weren't in such a crisis right now. On top of that, I'm trying to publish a book. I have limited time. You probably have limited time. But I still found time to send 53 emails to 53 Republican senators telling them to do something to help us. Also telling them that I know they know that this is not okay. I don't know how much time you can commit to this, but whatever time you can, it would be valuable, super valuable. Like if you could do even 10 emails a day and then rotate through all of them. If you could, like I'm trying to do, recruit other people to do it. All of it helps. Whatever it is helps. We are not going to be able to have fearless finances until we have a stable government. I'm going to correct that. Until we have a stable democracy that is actually there for the people and cares to protect us. This government does not. Thank you for doing whatever you can. And if there's something else that you've learned out there that's been helpful in this fight, in this resistance, please comment below. And I'll see you back here soon. Before you go, I'd like you to click right there. It's a video that I did about Trump's economy and how I was concerned even weeks ago that this might head us toward a depression, and what I decided to do with my investments as a result. It might help you out a lot.